Though Shopify only lost 2 maps in this stage, both of those were to WADA, and Shopify has been the only team to beat WADA. So now, coming into their second final of the year, it's a question of if third time's the charm in being the first team to beat Shopify in one of these grand finals.
Yeah, it is very clear that in North American Game Changers, these are our 2 best teams. Very, very clear. The question is, how far is that gap, and how, and really, can WADA actually overcome Shopify for their first time? Shopify Rebellion, they're going to be starting things off, moving in towards the A side, where Starbound is waiting for them, Mimi, all the way up on that boosted angle, and just takes off the head of Dodo. The rest of Shopify, they're flooding into the site, but Starbound's going to get out and play for the retake.
Yeah, it's going to be a great setup for the retake now for WADA. Still having that dart coming back off cooldown for Power Pixel. A flash for Femboy as well. It's going to be a big fight towards Secret.
Oh, Alexis and Sarah find a couple of kills. They are just rinsing WADA. This round's just over. It looked good for WADA. They got that opening pick, but not a single kill after it.
That last kill for Alexis is crazy. Just full running, jumping with the right-click classic. But I love how proactive they were in that post plant. Down a member, instantly taking the fight to them with that flash start combo going towards Secret. And I honestly think that's going to be the power of this comp, right? They're picking into Neon in a world where almost everyone is playing Yoru on this map, even after the Teo nerfs. And I do think part of that has to be that you're playing into this setup from Starbound, where they're going to be on this chamber, and you just have so much power to dive deep into these sites, to fight back site, punish that chamber TP, and shut down this retake before it can really begin. Because WADA, they don't actually have amazing tools to win the retakes with this double Senti comp.
Not at all. You know, WADA, they've got basically nothing headed into this round. Shopify going to make quick work, you'd imagine, over the B site, even if their lurker does fall in mid. And that is going to open some things up. Flanks are going to be a little bit of a concern now for Shopify, but with forward positioning on site, they're bunkered in and feeling comfortable, Mimi.
And I expect this kind of setup in a lot of the post plants for SRG. You'll see the Neon fighting forward, both Initiators sticking around to use that second refresh of utility to keep up the fight. And in a lot of moments, Mel, Noya, they're just going to be baiting back, waiting to win these rounds as the insurance policy with a bit of Astra util, with a molly from the Killjoy, what have you.
Pretty meaty buy here, all things considered, for Shopify. 4 Bulldogs, and the only player that dies, Noya, is on the lurk, and that's going to be with a pistol only. So Shopify have some options to maybe upgrade into a rifle in Noya's hands. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a Vandal tossed over to Dodo to see what she can find on the entry.
You've seen some teams in VCT and in other circuits really put a priority on keeping no buy on that chamber for round 2, only getting the ghost or even getting that bot over in the pistol round. You see players like Cryo do it a lot, to always have a round 3 operator. The way the econ works out for WADA, though, they haven't done that, and now they're not going to have an op going into this third round. So big question for me is, how long does it take for them to have the money to get that crucial weapon online?
Yep, the Starbound op is a big win condition for WADA, especially up against Shopify Rebellion. Shopify here, open up 4 strong into B. That dart over by Pillar is going to clear things away, and once again, it's just Femboy playing back on site. Rotates are coming in now from Shopify, but that wall is baited out. Oh no, it's not even baited, we're just through it, and that is ugly. Shopify lose their first player.
Yeah, that's just a straight up mistake from Dodonut, playing in her first final with Shopify Rebellion. Messes up that jump peak, and now SR gonna have to recover in a 4v5 where they don't have any space in A main, and their lurk isn't even up in mid yet.
Shopify are looking to commit into this, though. Let's see what Alexis can find on the entry. The first shot is going to be there. Now Femboy pinged away, and with a smoke coming in, it's going to be hard for Shopify to actually get some foothold back into sight. Sarah's going to make it happen, though, and with another kill up towards heaven, Shopify Rebellion has spun this round in their favor.
They had no dive, no way into the site. Juna, holding an angle, loses that fight, and it just all falls apart for WADA. 2v4 on this retake. Gonna just pray they can get a pick here to make an attempt, but they might even want to consider saving up.
They're looking for it, though. Starbound and Astralis. Tag team. Always looking good next to each other, and that's going to be the first one found by Starbound. Sarah, though, with 3. has made things near impossible for Astralis. Player coming in from street, one down long, and smokes are not going to give enough cover. Shopify Rebellion have secured their third round undefeated.
Yeah, and WADA, they give SR opportunities to get those peaks, and really instantly the round falls apart. You see on display at the end of that round as well, the protocols for SR in these post fights. Noya is so patient with the way that she is playing those lurks up through mid, only coming in with maybe 20 seconds left on the spike there, as Mel down long as well is going to make those B post fights so tough to deal with. You have to retake so quickly, and there just wasn't time to win it out in this one for WADA.
Kind of been the story of the Initiator players for Shopify Rebellion so far. Sarah and Alexis topping out the scoreboard right now, as Dodo has gone for the outlaw on the attacking side, knowing it's going to be a light buy for WADA. But when you look at the comp that Shopify are playing here, they played Pearl a lot this year outside of Game Changers. They were playing basically this comp with the Neon and the Jet slot for a while before playing around with some Tejo stuff. But like we saw in that last round, not having a Yoru does make it a lot harder to deal with things like the Vise utility, right?
Yeah, it absolutely does. Normally that clone is such a gimme to bait out the walls, so you're going to have to see Dodonut just getting embedded towards B like you see in this round, trying to bait out that wall in a lot of these ones. In this one, looks like she's just going to keep some pressure up on these B anchors and let her teammate walk over towards A.
It's kind of cute to have the Neon lurk on a round like this. I think she was hoping to find some contact and maybe bait WADA into thinking there's a lot more players on the B side. Instead, WADA actually have a 3-stack onto A, and a little bit of stall here as well, so things won't be so simple for Shopify. Down to 30 seconds now, but some utility to guide them into the site. 1-for-1 initially, but there you have it. The Initiators, Sarah and Alexis, have just been on fire so far, and even Mel there to guide her teammates out of the site after the spike goes down. Things into an uncomfortable position now as Juna's position has been fully revealed. Smokes have now made it even harder for her to scale up, although Femboys even things out 2-on-2. See what else they can find here. Alexis in a problem position, and yeah, dealing with her means you're exposed to Dodo, so the round does still go Shopify's way.
Yeah, Dodo, good for it there. Eco round gets a little away from them. They do wrap up in the end. To your point around the Initiators, though, obviously last year there wasn't a lot of attention being put on those two, and they didn't have to be as much the front players getting a ton of kills, being at the top of the scoreboard. But I feel like not just here in Game Changers, but in their run in Challengers and in the other open circuit tournaments Shopify have played, you have seen such a step up from Sarah this year. She's always been an incredible aimer. She's always been the best Sova in GC, but she's really had to rise to the occasion in 2025 as down long, it's finally that op in the hands of Starbound.
Yep. That win condition has been secured. Now Shopify put down the smoke, guarantee the cross, and to creep up into long. This time there's not a Vise wall to be able to block out and give some more protection for Starbound. I think that might give Shopify Rebellion a bit of an idea. There could be the op here. Starbound's got an idea of their own, though. Teasing onto the angle and seeing the shoulder. That's a big shot, taking Mel down to 51 HP. But it gives the option now for Shopify to accelerate into the site. That Hunter's Fury coming in from Sarah down long is excellent. Her utility usage is always sublime. And now as Femboy falls to Mel's rifle, it is once again Shopify in control.
And look at the lurk from Noya. She's worked all the way through mid. He's quite literally walking through CT spawn and is going to end this round.
Just a late backstab, and that was the op. That was supposed to be the difference maker for WADA. And it's not going to come through this time around. 5-0 to start off this final.
You see how quick Shopify is willing to snap into these executes. Every round, they've basically just been playing 4-1, take main control, get up to the smokes, and try and bait out any util. And their go sign in these last two rounds is as soon as that chamber makes noise, when you hear that TP, immediately you're sending that full dive into play. Because that means chamber is on a completely different dimension. The other side anchor is alone. And in quite a few rounds now, Dodo has done a great job of isolating that other player on the entry, and in that round as well, combining it with an excellent Sovault from Sarah just makes an easy execute for Shopify.
Feels a bit suffocating looking at WADA's position in these rounds where every single round, Starbound's trying to take an early line perhaps, but the utility is good, whether that's going to be Sova darts and drones or smokes coming in from Mel, blocking off those angles. It's been difficult. Starbound has really just found that first opener in the pistol, won ever since then. WADA have just been shut out, although now on the eco, they have managed to come up to 3 different ultimates, and Starbound could choose to go ahead and bring out the chamber up to swing things back in their favor here.
Yeah, and I do want to talk a little bit about the last time these two teams played in the upper final, because it was a very similar start to that game. SRG absolutely stomped map 1, and then map 2, it really got messy. I felt like SRG in like 4v4s or even 4v2s when they were up, they were making a lot of little mistakes, giving room for the WADA individuals to pop off, and that let a lot of round slip, built some momentum, and WADA managed to make a comeback to win that map, which made that series close, even though Shopify did stomp them on map 3 of Ascent.
Still, it feels a little bit different in this game. It's been very controlled, especially in the post plants. Shopify Rebellion. That flash does ping Noya, but we're not actually clearing in time. Dodo Nuts also found a kill over on the entry into A and is fully prepared for the op coming around the corner. Another clean round out of the Rebels.
If you're prepping for WADA and you're playing on the attacking side, one of the biggest things you have to think about is where are the TP gates for Starbound going to be? And just from these few rounds, I think their protocols for SRG on fighting deep, both on A and B, shows that they know exactly where this chamber ends up once they leave the site, and they're in position to fight forward and force Starbound to swing into 2 or 3 Shopify players instead.
Yeah. There are even little things in that round, too, like Sarah, 10-2 right now, but is also just throwing a shock dart on that line in A main that Starbound was trying to hold, so Starbound takes the shot and teleports away because they're getting a little bit nervous. Now, Starbound is going to be able to go for yet another operator, but this is 2 rounds where they have not found success so far.
SRG has also been hitting into the chamber site in quite a few of these rounds. This one might be different. They're exploring mid with Force for the first time. Dart goes into Art, and they're just going to contact up here. Dodo has the ult ready to go, and can just rip this one into an A split when they make the call.
And to Bucky, too. Alexis with her second null command of the map so far, and it's only round 7. Astralis, though, gets 2 kills. One of those is going to be the KO, so the Resurrect comes online, and Sarah's there in main, taking down her mirror matchup on the other side. Brings things down to 3 for WADA. Still, Shopify Rebellion have yet to plant. WADA might try to get in here quickly. Already the garden has been popped. WADA trying to move in. Femboy equalizes the score. And now with full control over the site and Shopify pushed back into main, WADA have a lot of time to play with.
Look at Noya, though, on another late lurk.
Coming in through Art. Right now, Flash is pushing these players back, and Sarah's got util in hand. That's going to be a problem. It all goes down to Noya. The spike's planted for her, but Starbound is ready. WADA are on the board.
Excellent awareness there from Starbound. Ready for the lurk. Punishes that one. And earlier in that round as well, I mean, it did take a lot of ults to get back in, catching Mel out of position with that steel garden, but still, great proactivity, basically just running into main there to get the 2 kills. Sarah getting caught with util in hand, and that was the WADA that won a map against Shopify last time they played, making hero plays like the one Juna did. Kind of no willingness to slow it down, and I see that confidence starting back up.
Oh yeah, it was a slick spray transfer from Astralis as well over into Art. Starbound is B-side this time around, although it looks like Shopify might want to play a more spread out round. Mel's playing Contain over into A while the pullback star and the drone come in. Dodo could swing off of that drone's contact. Sees exactly where that operator's going to be, and he's going to use that information to scale on forward and see if they can find this wall one more time. Oh my goodness, dude is just into the smoke! That's crazy, and caught the timing. I don't know if that's info coming out of the timeout a couple rounds ago or just excellent game sense, but that is exactly what you ask for.
I think it's just knowing that every time SRG has gone for this B-long default, they've had the Neon alone jump peeking that wall and just picks the perfect timing to go out and punish onto that one. This is the 3rd round now where SRG is down a player early. They won it the last 2 times.
Femboy just used that ultimate down on B long, has scouted out Street too, so he's very aware that Shopify Rebellion are leaning over towards A. There's still some thorns on the ground ready to be popped, but this ultimate from Shopify just try and flood on in through Art. Eyes on Astralis here, trying to consider going through the wall, but there's no angle to spam off of, and that spike's going down. Hold on,
Astralis
is
still playing
Astralis
front
actually
side.
looking for this? That is crazy. Just teasing the wall with her left shoulder.
Doesn't really have a way through, though.
Yeah, the rest of WADA are here. They're waiting for that wall to go down, but all of a sudden, Alexis, 2 kills inside of the smoke. The flank coming out from Noya as well. This is just picture-perfect post plant from Shopify Rebellion. It is only Astralis, the first one on the site, and the last to fall.
They play around both Astrals so incredibly well there. Alexis picking the perfect timing to swing through. Hits her double on the spray transfer. And WADA, it looked like they had a chance. Juna made a great play to start this round, and it is just snapped right back away through this play on A. Whenever you watch SR in positions like this, it just shows me how comfortable they are together. Like, Sarah and Alexis there aren't really, like, timing out a 1, 2, 3 on any of those swings, but they're just ping-ponging so nicely to pressure from different angles through the walls. Just shows the experience on this Shopify team.
Yeah, really classy performance out of them for sure. And impressive to see, concerning to see, I think, for WADA, that so many of these rounds, I feel like Donut's been kind of a non-factor, whether it was the pistol dying first there. Now this is the second time we're seeing Dodo playing the B-long contain angle on a lurk path away from her team, but it just seemingly has not mattered, as Noya will get information of quite a few bodies out into mid and call the rest of her team to speed along towards A.
Dodo's going to come back, maybe hunt for some kills out into mid, but there's nothing WADA can do about this A-Tech. It's going to be yet another post plant for Shopify.
All right, well, Donut is certainly dead here, right? She doesn't just get to sprint past the window. She just keeps running!
Yeah, she's going to get away.
And WADA can't do anything!
That's fine.
Okay.
She's too fast for them. And now she has an outlaw on the perfect angle to just cook them.
We're posted up. Well, we're not cooking. Starbound shot her. That has happened, although now Noya is the everlasting problem. 3 kills for her. Means Femboy down to 60 HP. Does manage to pick up that rifle, but this has just been a stunner to start things off now for Shopify Rebellion. WADA have had seemingly no chance in these rounds, and it doesn't look to be getting any better for them.
And by the way, Shopify is at the point where they're also just snowballing ults. Noya has the Killjoy lockdown online. And Alexis, this is like an all-timer Alexis game. 15 assists, yep, check mark. Third ultimate of the half coming right up, yep, check mark. Also, almost top fragging. That one, not always the case, but she's stepping up to it too. Those initiators have just been leading the way for Shopify.
I mean, a combined 22 and 8 right now.
Pretty good.
Not to mention the 16 assists. Don't ask who's carrying the assist count if you're adding up Sarah
Sarah's doing her part.
Sarah's doing her part. I mean, she has been lights out too, don't get me wrong. Shopify back to their defaulting ways. Although I like the forward angle from Starbound. Dodo's always crept onto this right side, but there is always that dart. Doesn't seem to matter. Doesn't dissuade Starbound as well equalizes things in mid.
I'm so interested to see Shopify's 4v5 win rate at the end of this game. Because if they can close out this round, it will be, I think, the 4th or 5th round that they could win after being down to start. That lurk pick is so big into mid. And this A site is now completely free. Shopify have called this one perfectly.
WADA switched up their thorn placement into Art. Doesn't matter though. Power Pixel with 2 kills on the Guardian. Might be all they need. So now it comes down to those initiators. We've been talking about them all day. Sarah isolated away from her duo, moving into Art, but she's found a timing. As Astralis pokes into the smoke, has absolutely no idea this cross could happen. Still WADA are waiting. Sarah peeks onto the line, and is now slipped into backside. No one is ready for it. That's 1 kill, and it brings things into the clutch for Alexis. 1 on 3 for her. She's been so good this game. But 3 players on the other side seems nigh insurmountable. On the off angle, sees the shoulder, takes some HP down, but it's Astralis. Clear things up for WADA.
Finally, one of these close rounds going the way of WADA there. Getting the pick on B was very nicely done from Starbound. Getting in that very deep corner, just barely dodging out. on the scan from the recon dart to get the opener out. And again, credit to Juna, who, despite the struggles of WADA, I've been really impressed with in this map. Both rounds they've won now. I think she makes a pretty critical play, managed to pull things through.
I've also got to shout out Power Pixel, right? First two
there's
kills
two.
of the game for them, but the most impactful kills thus far. It nets WADA only their second round here, with 2 more in the half. Need everything they can muster up. Starbound has been fairly effective so far finding these openers, but is going to be continually asked to take down Dodo to keep giving their team a chance.
Same position for Dodo. This time they use the drone instead of the dart. That'll actually full clear this space on long. It's that exact same task of breaking down the wall for the Neon of Dodo.
We're gearing up for the full hit, though. Alexis with the null command, that's going to take away any options to teleport away from Starbound. Makes their position very concerning, and they're smoked off, too. Juna, the only player on site, taken down immediately by Alexis. And now it's the waiting game for WADA. You can't play around the ultimates, and in the post-plant, I've got bad news for you, because the lockdown is coming in. 10 seconds eaten away from that. Counter-ultimate coming out from the defensive side, but Mel is lining them up. Shopify Rebellion are unstoppable so far. And it's only Starbound's op that's found anything in the round for WADA. I don't know if they can play this out.
No. They're going to attempt to get a pick. Starbound has a TP, so they can get a little riskier, but something tells me it's not going to net any fish. They'll run away, and honestly, this map has just been a game of the post-plant masterclass for Shopify Rebellion. Every round, they're getting in these winning positions, and they will get a couple kills on their way out, but yeah, every time they're in these post-plants, they're doing such a nice job of getting proactive in the post-plant position, getting ahead of the utility from WADA, and just ping-ponging and being such a nuisance on every single angle. We're now all the way up to 9-2, and Shopify just keep this one rolling.
Really, it's their individual play, too, that I think has made these site hits in the post-plant so easy. Because you think about it, that's Alexis's third ult of the half. That gives them the site for free, because Starbound can't take a fight. And then you have Noya with the lockdown in post. How do you lose a round like that? It's not going to happen. And now, Mimi, Sarah has yet another ult.
Another ult. And they're going to slam A. Here comes another one of those site hits. There is a 3-stack here for WADA. They cannot let this one go.
Femboy with the op gets that opener. Bit of a switch up now as the wall comes down to try and buy some purchase onto the side. Dodo flying around, doing absolutely everything, but Femboy has found another. WADA piece something together here through some individual heroics, and Shopify are going to slip on out past their own wall, losing another player on the exit. And now in no man's land, seemingly.
Where are they going? Don't have control towards B, don't have control towards A. And now mid getting picked up. If they get the kill onto Juna. Oh, why do I feel like there's a chance? Just the timing there is brutal. Now they're going to be spotted. Surely rotates will start to come in, but I don't know if it's fast enough because the knife is tagged onto Juna.
I know about Juna. Juna has the garden, but can't put it down just yet. Mel, no!
Hello?
She pulls away from the shot! Thought she had it. That means an easy 2K for Juna. WADA get 3 on the half, but things are looking dire moving into the second.
Yeah, that was still just a shellacking for SRG. They were dominant in the pistol rounds when they played in that upper final. I think went like 5 for 6 or something like that by the end of the series. Have a strong start here already and a chance to win another here. That would practically end this map if they could do so. To talk a little bit about the comp, though, I think on paper people see these double senti comps and think they're going to be super duper defensive sided, but I actually think you have a lot of tools, especially when you're still playing into the Yoru with those flashes. You can make up for only having one initiator and basically play the same like flash dart combos you could with the SR comp. And on top of that, when you get into a post plant, the double senti util is just so tough to beat.
It's really annoying to play against. And we know that WADA love to call these slower, macro-based attacking halves. You only have to look at their last series against Shopify where they actually won on Lotus, playing very deliberate attacking halves, trying to go into lurks later on. So it's really players like Juna and Astralis that you're going to have your eyes on in the mid-round to find that opening.
SR, though, always a team that does well to try and shut those lurks down. You see the setup in mid to start. Trap play over towards Art. The possibility of that Neon following up is Sarah just solo facing and eviscerates Tuna in main there.
That simplifies the macro. Sarah is on the hunt. I think just seeing the shoulder and getting out is good information, especially if she was able to figure out that that was going to be the Yoru. Don't know if she actually saw enough to make that call, but has already brought Mel in to assist over on site. Set up a little high-low action perhaps, or just hide back and play the waiting game. Use numbers in the retake.
Don't break the knife. That's brutal. Catches like at least 3 players. That's going to call more rotates for SR.
Yeah, spam shots coming in, and now this smoke placed by Mel just to make it almost impossible for WADA to flush them out of Secret to get some control over backside. Astralis is going to go for it anyways, posting up on the forward line to make sure they can get the spike down on the ground. Good shots out of her. Net the first kill of it. Tries to readjust, but Sarah will be there. Now WADA need to come up with something. Down a player on the retake. Starbound gets a shot in. The falls back yet again, and with Sarah finding 3 on the round, you just can't help but ask who is going to shut her down. Maybe it's Power Pixel, the opposing Sova, and Sarah is low. That's 3 on the round now, and it comes into the one-on-one. Starbound can see Noya going for it, but the shots to the wall aren't connecting. Noya's just sticking this, and Starbound has to get in there. Noya takes them down. Shopify up on 10.
Oh, that's so well played by Noya. Noya sticks as long as possible playing that game of chicken and just pulls off at the right time to win it through. But that round was all Sarah. Solo facing into A main, kills the lurker there, gets the information to buy the rotates. Then she and Mel are playing backside. They stall for like 20 seconds, and she does even more once it goes into the retake. 16-6 now for Sarah, and with a second pistol round win, it honestly feels like we might be looking ahead to Haven.
Yeah, you gotta find some pistol somewhere if you're gonna have a shot, especially after a first half like that. And now with WADA playing into the mid space where there's a judge ready to swing off of a turret, I mean, feels just like a checkmate setup from Shopify Rebellion here.
Play over here as well.
Alexis coming around on that one, but taken fairly low. Alexis could actually be in a bit of trouble, so we'll fall back to her teammate backside.
Why don't I have some good space at least within Art, but with Mel still posted in street, they're just going to know that this has to be a hit into A. Sarah only goes 1 for 1. They're working on something here as Power Pixel gets another.
Power Pixel is heated up ever since those 2 kills. You know, that one WADA their second round. Then the pistol, there's 3. All of a sudden, WADA have a chance to overcome here. 1 Spectre's been upgraded into. A couple of Sheriffs are waiting into main. And Shopify Rebellion don't have much utility to get in here. A stun in Dodo Nut, but yeah, is definitely going to want to pick up the Bulldog. Keep your eye on Femboy. Center sight with the Spectre. Tough position to clear away, and it's not going to be done. Femboy gets another. WADA may have done enough here in this round. Mel will get 1. But the clock is starting to tick away, trying to obscure the spike for a moment. WADA aren't even getting up on this line. Shopify Rebellion are chasing down these players. Still need to go back into the spike. And Power Pixel taking their time with the ultimate to boot. Shopify just never had a chance.
Yeah, that was a rare miss for Shopify Rebellion on the eco. Remember, that was not a force buy from WADA. They just get space on A, do a ton of early damage onto Alexis there, and once they're going into the site hit, it's all Power Pixel with those 2 stunning Sheriff headshots. And just a well-constructed post plan to win this out. To say that's a critical round to win would be an understatement. Technically a Red Bull clutch, winning out on time there. And now, a real chance to get back into this game. Shopify's broke.
Especially because, yeah, Power Pixel didn't have to use the Hunter's Fury either, so can stack onto that ultimate, hopefully not have to use it here. Start carrying a few rounds. You win this round, you know, cleanly. You win around 16. Maybe there's just 1 more you need to win, and things are going to be back up close. Certainly gives some hope back to a WADA team that previously had none of it.
SR are full stacking the right site, though. It is just classics, but everyone's home on B. Hunter's Fury? With no info. just to clear the site on an eco. They might think it's not a stack now. This could get weird. Diving out of heaven. Noya's gotten 2. Already it's getting chaotic because Dodo's found a gun, Christy.
Oh, it is ugly. Now only 2 players left for WADA. They're not even through the smoke either. It is uncomfortable, and Shopify are making the call to back out of Street and use this time. They know WADA has to take to send 2 back through their own spawn.
3 guns now recovered.
30 seconds.
Still, Starbound's Outlaw can do damage. Every player is one shot to that weapon. But they're going to be completely alone on this site.
They've got 0 utility to play with. It is just their guns, and they are down in numbers. Starbound can't miss here. WADA, that hope I was talking about, it goes away. It disappears if this round is not secured. His first peek in the back hall will mean everything, and Dodo is better. Power Pixel heated up towards the end of the first half, towards the start of this one, but now that spike not even planted for them. This round is cooked. It is a disaster for WADA. After winning their eco, it gets thrown right back around on them, and Shopify Rebellion move up to 11.
And I honestly think where it goes wrong is that unnecessary Sova's Hunter Fury. Because they send that ult. They think they've cleared back hall. They think they've cleared towards street. But of course, the ult does not go high enough to hit heaven. And guess where literally all 5 SR players are? Because of that bad info, all of the players on WADA fight deep, try and get forward lines for their post line. It's not a bad idea. But then all 5 members from Shopify, Avengers out of heaven, and they win that round. Brutal.
It's absolutely devastating. And WADA, they're not even forcing into this round. Nope. They are actually trying to save and convince themselves they can win 8 in a row to force an OT. Starbound even saving up money to have an attack side up, potentially.
Well, maybe they just think they're going to get the 3rd Thrifty in a row.
Oh, you think so? Is that how this is going to go down? I'm not sure if I truly believe.
Yeah, it's basically the same round they ran on their last eco they won. All 5 go into art this time. They'll split back through mid and look to walk down street, see what they can find.
I kind of like this anti-eco setup, though, from Shopify Rebellion. Just full clearing away from the mid space, saying that, you know, WADA, you're going to have to show against us. We're not going to give any early fights, any chances to find a first kill and sneak back into a round. Because WADA are coming 5 in through street, it makes it very easy for Dodo down long to turn back around and clear out these players. That's the first, the second, the third. They're all coming together. And there's still this outlaw that has to be dealt with. Not to mention the fact that Noya has entered the party too. So good luck, WADA. This round was never going their way.
Man, you gotta feel for WADA losing that eco round. I mean, you were selling the tail. They win that one. They're just a couple away. They can build back in. But instead, here we are, where they've been ecoed. They finally have a bye, but would need to win 8 in a row. And they're facing up against 2 ults from Shopify already. SR, I would honestly like to see them play into a similar setup to what they showed on the anti-eco. Just be super passive, don't give any fights, and then play into a retake with your double ults. And bada bing, bada boom, we go to Haven.
Seems very easy to just play that ultimate game because, you know, they did the better work early in this half. I mean, Sarah and Noya have their ults. Now, the question is whether or not Starbound's going to be able to find anything with this operator. Because you're saying, right, like you want to see Shopify Rebellion play the more reserved style, play for the retakes. That is probably going to mean not a lot of opportunities for Starbound to genuinely find a player that wants to take a fight versus them.
Yeah, and if you look at how WADA play on rounds where they don't have ults, they don't have a super strong exec comp when they don't have ultimates online. So they're almost always going to be playing these slow rounds, trying to work into mid. And if Shopify just doesn't give them a fight, time gets low, those ults are going to absolutely feast. So it's a really tough proposition for WADA to try and win.
Now, Dodo has decided to go for an operator herself. Interesting enough, the first round we're going to see that. It's going to be an art. Playing maybe a bit more of an off angle. A little bit less expected. But again, with, you know, a Killjoy turret over towards B, the KO knife there too. Sarah, you know, playing into A with some darts and utility there as well. It's going to be very hard for WADA to scale up forward without Shopify being aware of it.
Yeah, Sarah's position is huge because you can basically call your whole macro around that information. If they don't push her off that line at all, there's always going to be 3 players leaning towards B, and that makes winning a B hit so difficult.
Literally, Shopify's whole setup right now is just playing off angles to punish the lurkers walking in. They're not convinced that WADA are going to run an honest exec against them, or if they do, they're going to make a ton of noise thundering on in. Right now, WADA are keeping it quiet. The spacing needs to be good up against Sarah if they keep moving into A.
I just don't see how Starbound gets anything here. Tries a shot, and there's that off angle from Dodo. Gets the opener.
Oh, Sarah, that is gross. That is gross. Just go on to the next map. It doesn't matter. Starbound in a 1v5, it's not going to happen. This has just been brutal.
On and off angle A main, and cuts down all 3 players. Literally just a Sarah moment. This was her all map. Gotta be something like 20 kills to end this one as Starbound just walks her way in, and
Hunters,
yeah, this
Fury,
is over for them.
I mean, come on. The 4K from Sarah to win the game. Couldn't ask for anyone better to close it out after just a stellar map 1.